Hello. Welcome to Monday Night Live. It is Yvonne here from Women's Fitness Adventures. It has finally stopped raining momentarily where I live in Brisbane, Australia, Queensland, Australia, and the sun is shining. It is all of a sudden like a steam bath. So I'm sitting in my office with the fan on, keeping cool. So if you are watching live, please let me know. I'd love to know where you're watching from, whether you're a member or not. So please pop that in the comments box below. I've got a couple of things I want to talk about tonight, and you might think it is a little bit of tough love. So I'd love to hear comments. Your feedback is always welcome, and join the conversation. But just to introduce myself, I'm Yvonne. I'm the founder of Women's Fitness Adventures. I started this little organisation almost 9 years ago. The concept was born out of the Great Ocean Walk, which ironically or coincidentally, the members have just returned from in the past couple of days from I think it's about our 7th adventure that we've done there. So that's where it all started. Women like me who wanted to get out there in the great outdoors and give it a go, make new friendships and have great conversation. And here we are almost 9 years later, a global organisation that teaches, trains and takes women on hiking adventures all over the world. And you can do it online from wherever you participate as well. So let's check in with who's here. Pauline from Adelaide, hi. And I don't know if you guys have had a chance to read the newsletter, but Pauline, your story is in the newsletter, featured bright and beautiful there. What a wonderful story that is. Brod from Windy Launceston, Kay from Queensland, Kerry from Londrigan in northeast Victoria. Hope you're safe from the rains and floods there, Kerry. Margaret from Rockhampton. Goodness me, we are all over the country tonight. Who's here? Leanne from Grantham. Lovely to have you here. Virginia from Brisbane. Karen from Claremont. Literally, we are scattered over all of Australia. And Mandy from South Australia. Carissa from Eagle Point in Victoria. So we are all over the place. So thank you so much for joining us. Remember, until you comment, I can't see who you are. I don't know who you are. So it would be lovely to have your comment there. So I often get asked, one of the questions I get asked a lot, and I'm not really sure how to answer this. So if anyone knows how to answer it succinctly, then that would be great, because I do struggle with this. One of the questions I get asked the most, especially on Facebook, is where is this group? And you're not where I live, so I can't be involved. And I really struggle with that question, where is this group? Because we are literally wherever you are. You can be involved in our community from wherever you live on the planet. And it doesn't matter whether you live remotely or you live in a city. Our community is an online community that women with the same values and principles and ideals connect, share great conversations, share fitness together. We have a lot of online fitness activities, and also come together to learn and teach and discover from each other hiking skills and hiking fitness. And for some, go on adventures with us, and for others, on their own adventures. So if anyone knows how to answer that question very succinctly, I would appreciate it. How can I be involved wherever I live is really the question that I struggle with. So anyone who's got some answers around that would be great. Checking in, Jen from Brisbane. I hope you're feeling better, Jen. Kylie from the train. Okay, cool. On the Ipswich train. Sheree on her way back from Coffs Harbour, and Kathy from North Queensland. What a collection of locations this afternoon. So thank you for tuning in. So, as I said, tough love today. And hello, Sandra from Sydney. So as I said, our team got back from the Great Ocean Road yesterday, or they finished their hike yesterday, over 100 kilometres. The weather in Melbourne Victoria had been pretty tough, but they had blue sky for most of the time, and it only rained on the last day. So perfect hiking conditions for them. And hello, Libby from the Sunshine Coast, and hello, Kerry from Birkdale in Queensland. But I emailed the newsletter out to our members literally moments ago, so no one's probably had the opportunity to read it. But the stories I often hear are that for most of the women who went on the adventure of 100 kilometres, many years ago would have been, I never thought I could do that. And I have this thing, having learnt from personal experience, never say never, because sometimes we think that we have to go from here to here in one big giant leap for mankind, and we don't have to do that at all. It's a slow and steady progression, as I often say, like learning to walk. As a baby, we literally don't, come out of the womb and then run. There's a whole progression of stages. And for most of us who do multi-day hiking or dream of doing multi-day hiking, the progression is there very slowly to go from whatever your starting point is to the next, to the next, to the next. And it's when we try and take this giant leap that we get disappointed, that it becomes all too much and overwhelming, and we bail out. That's generally how it's viewed. So when our women said many years ago, I'd never thought I could do that, slow and steady, the key to start moving, to keep going, to build on that momentum. And each time we do it, I often talk about this compounding fitness. It really it's like sediments. It's like, I'm not a geologist, but, it's like layering. The more we do, we just build on the layer before and the layer before and the layer before, layer upon layer upon layer. And eventually we end up in this spot where they all comfortably did the 100 kilometers last week. And yes, absolutely, Mandy. Congratulations to them all. Hi, Sandy from Toowoomba. Hi, Patricia from Crescent Head. Oh, literally, we are doing a loop around the country today. So part of my tough love tonight is, so there's a couple of questions I get asked. One is, how can I be involved wherever I live? You're not where I live, so I can't be involved. And Brod, okay, I really want to do your Great Ocean Road hike one day. Okay, so the newsletter tonight, you guys are giving me fodder. The newsletter for members tonight, the non-member one will come out tomorrow, is literally one day never comes. Tomorrow never, ever happens. And I know that in today's newsletter, I also put another functional fitness video, number 38. And I have been saying for weeks and weeks, those ones have been sitting there banked up for months, actually. I'll do it tomorrow. And I actually had to get over myself and say, Yvonne, tomorrow has not shown up for you for months now. So just get over it. So Brod, when you say you really want to do the Great Ocean hike one day, here's the seed I'm going to throw out to you. So our Great Ocean Road hike for next June is full. It's sold out. So the next Great Ocean Road hike is 2024. It is leaving the Mother's Day in May 2024. It's our 10th year. It's our 10th anniversary almost to the day. And we have a very special Great Ocean Road hike that I will be leading, because that's where it all began. So if you say one day, there will only be the 10 spots for that. And I know a couple of ladies who were on the original Great Ocean Road hike back in 2014 are going to be on that. So there's a seed I'm throwing out to you, Brod, when you say one day. So there's 2 years literally, or 18 months to get training. Don't have to make any commitments yet, but it will be a very, very special Great Ocean Road hike. And hello, Nina. Lovely for you to join us. And there you go. Brodwin Blythe, you will do it, says Patricia. Okay, there's a challenge if I've ever seen one. Margaret, I'm just going to jump in here. Being part of the online community is great when you travel, also allowing you to connect with members far and wide. I did this only last week. I felt like I had known the ladies forever. A great morning was had by all. So you can be part of this great community wherever you are. Absolutely, Margaret. And I know you travel a lot around the country with work, and you also take advantage of wherever you are, either the online functional fitness or our online active Zoom sessions, or participating in something that's happening locally as well. So such a valued member that you are. And thank you for sharing that, Margaret. Margaret, count you in. All right. So we will be having a expressions of interest go up on that, the page, but it will be a special edition, 10th anniversary 2024 Great Ocean Road hike in May, leaving on Mother's Day. So we've got some things, special things we're working on for that. Hello, Chris from Townsville. Donna's in for the Great Ocean Road 2024. I might have to just hire a bigger bus, I think. And hello, Marianne, as well, part of our Couch to Mountain crew. So thank you for being here. So as I said, tonight is tough love. So the questions I get asked is, how can I be involved because you're not where I am? And literally, we cannot be anywhere. No matter how good anyone is, they cannot be in all places all the time. However, you can be involved wherever you are. And I say this with the ladies who did the 100 kilometres last week, who built upon the foundations of fitness and kept moving. And we have been chatting at, over the course of the week, I hear lots of insights. I have lots of insights. I hear lots of chatter, and I have lots of conversations, and I do get lots and lots of questions. And when our leader Tricia goes away on an adventure, as she did last week on the Great Ocean Road, I'm in charge of the inbox that comes in. So I see more than normal on those times, which is probably why the admin's not as great when she's not here either. And hello, Cheryl from the Hunter Valley. But, we were talking this morning, and I'd be really keen for everyone's views on this, about movement. And, this is our tough love session. We'll be coming into a tough love once a month. We have to keep moving. The latest statistics are pretty scary. The health crisis is looming, and we need to do everything that we can to, we may not be able to eliminate things that happen to us, but we can certainly minimize our chances or minimize our risk or decrease our risk of something happening. And movement is key, because with movement, we have choices. And when we have choices, we have freedom. But movement, and there's a great TED talk on exercise. I can't remember who it is, Wendy Suzuki maybe, who says that, the moment you start moving, these amazing things start to happen to your body, and you don't have to move far and you don't have to move fast. And I remember Margaret Larkham, who was on the adventure last week on the Great Ocean Road, lives in Cairns. She lives 1,800 kilometres away from where our office is based in Brisbane. The same distance to Melbourne. Cairns to Brisbane is the same distance as Melbourne to Brisbane. And Margaret joined us in lockdown, in the first stage of lockdown, could not walk 5 kilometres, and now has since completed 3 adventures. The third one, 3 multi-day adventures, being the 100-kilometre Great Ocean Road, and did it with ease. And we were just chatting about you, Margaret, if you're watching, what an amazing journey you have been on, and how movement is such a part of your life. Because when we stop moving, things stop. Things start to seize up. So, we don't have to move far and we don't have to move fast. And we often think, I could never do that. And our 5 kilometres for 5-day challenge, which we ran in 2021, we ran 2 of them. And we won't be running one this year. We'll actually be running it early next year. Was a challenge open to anyone to walk 5 kilometres a day for 5 days. And when we recently ran our Victorian hiking skills workshop, we asked around the room, everyone's story, and everyone is very open. And if I've said this before, I apologise, but it's such a important thing to share. We asked everyone around the room what got them to be part of Women's Fitness Adventures community, and what that meant. Well, not even what that meant, but just introduce yourself and what got you here. And I would say half of the room had joined on the 5 kilometre for 5-day challenge and kept going. And what they said was that it changed their life, it saved their life. Now, I knew that, that we have an impact at Women's Fitness Adventures, but I never really knew until that moment. And I thank all of you who shared that really, really personal story, but also the vulnerability of being out there. That when you say it changed your life, I know we make an impact, but it wasn't until that moment that I actually realised the impact that our community has together, collectively. I just provide the forum, collectively on each other's lives. But here's the thing about the tough love, is that we had in that very first 5 kilometre for 5-day challenge, I had no idea that it would prove so popular. And we had 3,500 women join that free challenge. And of that, I would say 100 maybe joined our community. And those ladies, some have dropped off, have kept it going. And I'm getting messages randomly from people who were in that challenge going, when are you running it again? But the ones who have kept it going and joined our community are the ones who are successful and the ones who are getting results. Now, I say that because they never left what made them successful. So they started, and they may have not made 5 kilometers each day. They may have done a kilometer the first day and built up, and then joined the community and kept moving and kept going. And it is that movement that made them successful, and they kept going with that success. So they didn't abandon it. All too often we think, oh yeah, I've figured this out. I've got to be walking, I'm now walking 5 kilometers a day. I don't need any extra support. Or I've lost the weight I wanted to. I don't need to do the things that got me to the weight there. Or I've saved all the money that I needed to. I don't need to save any more money. Or I've got to where I want to in my employment and I don't need to apply myself anymore. Don't leave the thing that made you successful. The key is to dive in even further and become, embrace who you become. And that was the topic of tonight's newsletter. So let me just check in here. So Mandy says, it was very special recently on our South Australia social walk. We had some amazing members all the way from Queensland, Margaret Gockle, meet up and join us. Being a part of Women's Fitness Adventures gives us the opportunity to come together in person and virtually. And it does. And that's how the 5 kilometre for 5-day challenge was. It was a virtual challenge. Remember, most of the country was in lockdown. The stories in there, some women had not left the house, and the 5 kilometres for 5 days, then they didn't manage the 5K. They managed half a kilometre, but it got them out of the house and changed their life. Mandy also says the 5 kilometres was a life changer for so many of us and how our lives have changed. And Sue, exactly as well. That's you. It was a great kickstart. And I know inside our community, and most of you watching are members, and if you're not a member, you can join our community. Same with Susan as well, the 5 kilometre. And let me just go with this one here. Patricia says, I agree with those who said it saved their lives. Now let's just break this word. Saved is very different to changed. Just think about that for a moment. Saved is very different to changed. I know that what we do changes lives, but when you hear it saves lives, that's really powerful. Even though I guess it's a bit dramatic, just changing the way we live is life-saving. I wish to continue for many years to come doing functional fitness and walking daily. And it does. And Pauline, yep, me too. And so, the key is not whether you join our 5 kilometre challenge that's coming up early next year or whether you join our community. The key is whatever makes you successful, do not leave that behind. Do not throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you felt great, and I can talk from personal experience too. If you felt great this time last year and don't feel so great now, what was it that you were doing this time last year that you're not doing now? Was it drinking water? Was it moving daily? Was it connecting socially? What was it that you were doing that made you successful that you're leaving behind now? And Rod says, great message, Patricia. Was that, Rod, I'm just checking in. Was that great message that you will do the Great Ocean Road Walk, or her great message that it changed her life? Just checking in on that. And the other thing, I listened to this fabulous podcast, and, some of the things I'm sharing are from that podcast called Bevan James Isles. He's a New Zealander and he's a fitness podcaster. But we often sabotage our success. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Oh, I managed 5K. I don't need to do it anymore. I don't need to do it. Yeah. And we sabotage our own success because maybe we fear of being successful. Maybe we're scared of who we might become or what we want to leave behind. We tend to hang on to a lot of baggage of who we once were, or an injury we once had, or how someone once defined us as well. So Marianne says, I have always walked, but 5 in 5 made me take it seriously. Absolutely. And because we had that such community of support, everybody egging each other on without any judgment, just pure support for women doing some amazing things. But once we become successful, like the thing, we get to this space where we're feeling really good, let's not move away from the thing that makes us successful. Let's really embrace it and go in a little bit deeper. And I know we've had here in Queensland some members who have been with us for a long time and ebb and flow with showing up to different trainings and stuff, and head off onto some of their various treks and come in with 6 weeks to go, going, oh my gosh, I've done nothing for months and months, and now I need to get fit and get on my trek to get ready for my trek. I'm so worried about it, and that anxiety builds up. The key is to not leave the thing that made you successful. If your goal is to be adventure ready all the time, then you need to keep looping in and build into the lifestyle the training that makes you successful, and then dive in and teach it back. Become a mentor in a passive way, mainly because your very actions, I say this all the time, are inspiring others. And don't just get to that first part of the achievement. Okay, I've done 5 kilometers for 5 days. I'm going to keep doing 5 kilometers every second day. Or I'm actually going to walk 6 kilometers, twice a week, and 4 kilometers every other day of the week. Don't stop once you get to that platform. I liken it to running. I'm a runner, as some of you know, and I've done 1 marathon, maybe thinking about another one, I'm not really sure. But I did exactly this. I did the 1 marathon, and then I never did another one. And I did exactly what I'm telling you. I left the thing that made me successful to run the marathon. I'd built the base, I'd built the foundation, and then I did one and went, oh, stop this, not doing that again. And, it's a hard slog to get back. So the things that make you successful, write them down. The things that sabotage you, write them down too, and figure out what it is. I know for me, for all of us actually, we're not in lockdown anymore. The borders are open. It will be, for where I live, December 16. Last year was when our borders opened. We were allowed to leave our state. We weren't allowed to leave the country. We were allowed to leave our state. And since then, the amount of choices, the amount of distractions, the amount of opportunities to do 50 million things has increased to 250 million things. So my time is now like a clown in a circus where my mouth is open waiting for all these, whatever comes my way. But the things that made me successful, I have to really hold on to, because it's so easy to move away from the things that made me successful with my health and my wellness when there's so many other opportunities out there. Now, having said that, if you find there's something better for you, then move on to that. But don't complain if where you are now is not where you want to be, if you're not doing the things that will get you to there. So we all want to be, say we all want to be an author. Unless we put in the work to be an author, we can't really get the results. So if you are complaining that you're not an author and you're never doing anything about it, stop complaining, move away from it. There's no point in getting bitter or getting angry or beating yourself up if you're not prepared to put in the work for something that you want to be. So let's just check in here. Brod says, being a member of this group continues to inspire me to keep me moving and be aware of my activity. It keeps me honest to myself. Absolutely. That's beautiful, Brod. Thank you so much for sharing. And we know you have a great success story, which will be coming up on one of our member stories soon. And Virginia, yeah, absolutely, Virginia. And I'm going to talk about this in a moment. It's so inspiring to see amazing women in their 70s leading on multi-day walks. And again, in tonight's newsletter, which probably hasn't been read yet, the Great Ocean Road Walk had ladies from their mid-40s to their mid-70s on it. And it is really, really inspiring. And we see this all the time, that there are women in their 70s who are more capable than women in their 30s and 40s in terms of their endurance, their stamina, their ability to keep walking and enjoy themselves. That that freedom of movement and that freedom of choice that comes with putting one foot in front of the other consistently. So doing the things that got them to where they are and then continuing to do them to give them all of those freedoms. So movement matters. And I know for our members, we had the masterclass on movement matters. And if you're, thinking about movement, I'd go back to that, because the physiology of why movement matters is important as the places we can go, the things we can see, but also our mental state. So if I choose not to move and it becomes harder, we were talking this morning that one of our members' mothers is on a walking frame. And when she hurt her shoulder, she was not able to move on her walking frame. So she was not able to really go anywhere or do anything because the pressure through her shoulder meant she couldn't put the weight through the walking frame. And so when you have the ability to move taken away from you, either permanently or temporarily, you don't have as much freedom to go places. So your world becomes smaller. So when your world becomes smaller physically, it also can become smaller up here in the mind as well. And so an active body is an active mind. So don't I keep coming back to this thing, don't go back to default after a moment of successful change. Keep going, because it's that white water, it's that turbulence, it's the, oh my gosh, I'm in a space I'm not really comfortable with, that gets us to where we really want to go, figuring out where you really want to go. Alvina says the ladies were an absolute inspiration. So lucky to have been on the Great Ocean Road hike with them. Absolutely, Alvina. And you're one of those inspirational ladies as well, because I know that our Facebook page lit up last week with amazing support and encouragement from people all around the world, watching how our Great Ocean Road hike was unfolding. And often we can, you hike through mud, you hike through rain, there were leeches, there were river crossings with packs and all sorts of things. And, when we do, and this is the tough love episode, when we do our online walks, the same people, I'm not making it, I get texts, I'm not coming today, I'm not coming. And if I look at that history of it, it's the same people all the time. I'm not coming, or it's raining, I'm not coming, it's raining, I'm not coming, which is fine. But if those things are making you successful, don't leave the things that make you successful. You can't be successful if you're half in, half out. Virginia says, my mother is nearly 89 and walks an hour outdoors every day. What an inspiration, and how lucky you are, Virginia, to still have your mother. I think that's amazing. What a beautiful role model there. The other thing, and I have been talking for a little while, so I won't talk for much longer. The other thing is that I'll come back to that one. The crazy women walking. So we often hear, oh, you women are crazy. You've got all these packs on. You've got this, you've got that. We're not crazy. We are not crazy. We have longevity. We have enthusiasm. We have the support of each other. We have amazing memories, priceless moments, shared friendships, get to see some amazing places, whether you hike with us or whether you hike, in your backyard or your own adventures. Women hiking, bushwalking, even out walking are not crazy women walking, especially, when we get over 50, we get labeled as well. I just think it's so amazing and so inspirational that we can, as women, choose to be who we want to be and keep successful at it. And, I often, when I tell people, I meet people at a party and they say, what do you do? And I say, I own my own fitness adventure company. I teach, train and take women on hiking adventures close to home and all over the world. I could never do that. I hurt my knee when I was 20. Well, this woman's my age. Okay, you asked about me. I did not ask about you. So you have a choice. The things that make you successful, hold on to those. So Cherie says, being in one's 70s, there is never any pressure to keep up with the younger members of the group. As one said to me once, you are the same age as my mother. Well, I wish my mother was still alive, and she would be so proud of each and every one of you who do that. She would be in her 80s now, and she loved being outside and loved chatting and loved having conversations. So I think that's a real compliment. Patricia says, Virginia, wow, what a legend your mum is. And Alvina says that we are motivated. Yeah, absolutely. So I want to just give a shout out to a couple of ladies that have shared some stories with me. One of them is Judy, who I may have mentioned in our online walks. And I'm just going to pop a banner up. So if you're watching and you're not a member, you can jump on and check out our membership. It's open now. Who has been a member with us for a while and is really embracing exercise. She now, her friends aren't particularly fond of meeting up for a walk, but that's her go-to now. And she can now drag her kayak all the way up out of the water without any extra help, which across sand is a pretty big deal for a kayak. And Brod, you told us the other day that you embrace hills, which is absolutely fabulous because hills are not everybody's friend. And I think it's wonderful that you say that. To Linda, who I was with this morning, who, has had ups and downs, but has held on to her hiking journey and has made such gains in the last couple of weeks just through getting physically stronger and focused on where she wants to be. And to Karen, who I was chatting with this afternoon, who embraces everything about the Women's Fitness Adventures community and really knows the physical and emotional support that the community can bring as well, and really leans on that when it's needed. So they're just a couple of the stories, let alone the 3,500 stories that were there in our 5K challenge. So tough love. Don't let go of the things that made you successful. And if you were sitting there going, oh, this time last year I was able to do this, what was it? Or this time last year, or this time 6 weeks ago, or this time, because time will pass. And I said to someone the other day something about time, and my favorite song I listen to every day on Spotify. And it's been my favorite song since I was about 8 years old. And I listen to it because it reminds me of, I have a few favorite songs, and they're probably every 10 years apart, but it reminds me how quickly time can go. And here we are close to Christmas again. How quickly time can go, how quickly time passes, that milestones for our children or our nieces or nephews or whoever they might be are years passing for us as well. So, time just goes fast, and before you know it, we're out the door, right? So just hold on to those things that made you successful, whatever they might be. Kerry says, I certainly never felt crazy, just blessed with what I've seen and experienced since hiking, and sorry for those who haven't enjoyed that pleasure. Absolutely, Kerry, well said. So before I finish up, I just want to share a few things with you. Our team, me, heads off to our New Zealand Coast Bush and Canyons adventure next Sunday. So I will try and get online on Monday, but it will be, New Zealand is a couple of hours ahead. So I'll try and get online and do a Monday night live next week. Otherwise, I will do a recording from wherever I can. So all the best to our team, and I know some of you watching are on that adventure, so we're going to have a great time next week. We still have some spots for our Southern Lakes adventure in late March next year in New Zealand. There's a video on the bottom of the website, on the bottom of the homepage, and also in today's newsletter for members. A fabulous adventure. We've done that twice. It is really, really amazing. In New Zealand, there's nothing that can kill you in New Zealand. There's no snakes, there's no spiders, nothing of any danger to us over there. So really lovely country. And we've got 2 spots on our Painter's Way hike in Germany for next year as well in May. So come hike 120 kilometers with us. We stay in some beautiful hotels each night, day pack only for both of those adventures as well. So that's coming up. But also this week, don't forget, I've just dropped a new functional fitness video in. So number 38 is in the member portal today. So you can jump online and do that, not just watch that. And we've got our online active sessions of out and about tomorrow afternoon, functional fitness on Thursday night at the member store on Thursday. So remember, you can get the discount either online or in person on Thursday night. We'll send a code out to our members, or on Thursday during the day. And we also have our Sunday morning online social walk as well, which I did from my balcony on Sunday because it was pouring here in rain, and it was just so lovely to be connected and have my cup of tea while others around the country were walking wherever they wanted to. So that's it from me for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, I'd love to, if you have any further comments, what are the things that make you successful, that you're holding on to and continuing to do? Or what are the things you want to get back to that made you successful, that, with all the, choices and opportunities and distractions out there that maybe have taken you away and you want to get back to. So thank you for watching tonight. I look forward to coming to you somewhere somewhere in New Zealand next week, and I'll have the members with me on the adventure so I can get them involved as well. So thanks, and I look forward to catching up with you as soon as I can. Thanks. Bye-bye.